be the right thing to do. Like our eternal leader, Dim Odumegwu, children that body. The right thing to be done was to go back to the original structure that was put in place. Right? Since they feel that the unitary system was to take power to a particular area, but they did not. Instead, they used that. Up to today, as we speak, they're using that against the Igbos. But the intention of Aguiyi-Ironsi was to strengthen national unity. The intention of Aguiyi-Ironsi for putting that very unitary system was to strengthen national unity. And those who accuse him of using it to lord the Igbos over them, the question is, why didn't they change it? Aguiyi-Ironsi was there for just some few months and they murdered him and took him away. Why didn't they now go back to the structure that they feel is better? They did not. Up to today, they still hold on that unity. That is why I said Nigeria is not meant to succeed. Nigeria is an evil entity that is filled with lies. Remember, after all said and done, in July 1966, another military coup took place. This is the one that they never talk about. The first one was a revolution. From every indication, it was a revolution. But the second coup, nobody talks about it. The counter coup, nobody is talking about it. That coup that took the life of Major General Aguiyi-Ironsi. Nobody's talking about it. That coup that took the life of Colonel Adekunle Fajuyi. Nobody's talking about it. That coup that took the life of this prominent man and made Gowon the head of state. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about that particular, the counter coup, which is the major coup. The counter was the major coup. The first one was a revolution, but the most one that destroyed the country was the second one that took the life of Aguiyi-Ironsi that was celebrated on 30th of July. Aguiyi-Ironsi, who was remembered and celebrated on 30th of July. Since he died, since more than 60 years ago. Only this year they remember to give Aguiyi-Ironsi a proper remembrance. All thanks to Governor of Abia State. Only this year, after so many years, only this year. The counter coup was the most dangerous thing that happened in Nigeria. We are innocent of, do you know how many young officers of Igbos that were murdered? They can't even give us the list of number of officers who were murdered. They didn't stop at the officers. They went to the street and began to... The pogrom. It was this very coup that brought about the pogrom. We are innocent young men and women. We are murdered in cold blood. Children and women. They killed them, they put them in the truck and sent to Biafra land. This is the major coup that was supposed to be talking about. This is one that was to be called a coup. That's what nobody is even talking about the counter. Nobody is talking about it. Nobody speaks about it. Nobody gives detail of what transpired. Instead, the people that carried out this massacre, the pogrom, they are being celebrated today. They are the ones in charge of the oil wells. They are the ones today that are the richest in that country of Nigeria. They are the ones holding important position. They are the ones that are making decisions on what Nigeria becomes today. That is why you say Nigeria can never, ever, ever work. It doesn't matter who is there. It will never, because the blood of the innocent is still crying out. The blood of the innocent is, more especially when after killing them, you still go and spit on their grave. You are spitting on their grave every blessed day. For taking the wealth of the same people you murdered and put in the hand of the people that murdered them, you are spitting on their grave every day, and they will never, Nigeria will never, ever, ever know peace. The only thing that can bring peace is disintegration to your tent, O Israel, so that we can appease the dead. After appeasing the dead, if we choose to come back together and do one or two things together, so be it. The counter coup was a major issue, but nobody talked about it. Following escalating political tension and widespread violence, the Eastern region declared itself the Republic of Biafra in 1967. It was that pogrom that made our eternal leader, after all effort, taking them to Aburi for reconciliation, and they rejected everything. They brought death. They brought war to us. The Civil War. It was Gowon that brought war to the Biafrans. We didn't go there to fight them. We were only defending our land. We never went to war to Nigeria. We never said we want to go and revenge our people that they murdered. They were the ones that conducted pogrom against us. They were the ones that, and they were the ones that still brought war to us. And they want us to fold our hands. And our eternal leader fought gallantly to defend our people. Biafra Republic of Biafra was declared in 1967 under the leadership of Lieutenant Colonel Chukwuemeka Odumegwu. The Nigerian Civil War lasted from 1967 to 1970. The conflict caused immense suffering. Historians estimate a large number of civilians died, many from hunger, disease during the war. True estimated vary widely. Today, you can see some people telling you 2 million died, some telling you 1 million died, some telling you 3 million died. But you know, whenever the public number becomes up to 1 million, you should be expecting that it is triple of what you are seeing. Whatever number you're given is triple it. The war ended in 1970. General Gowon announced a policy, often summarized as no victor, no vanquish. That was the game they played. That was the game they played. They said, no victor, no vanquish. With the stated goal of national reconciliation and reconstruction, but no wisdom, no vanquish. Was it implemented? Not anyway. Even though they said no victor, no vanquish, up to this day, you know they treat us as people who are conquered. Nigeria sees every Igbo man as a conquered person. That is why they dare not want to see us near certain positions in the government. The reason they don't want us to occupy some position in the government is because they see us as conquered people. So you can see the no victor, no vanquish, it was just a verbal word that was made. But in the actuality, there is a written code that there are some positions an Igbo man will never hold in Nigeria. You see why any Igbo man aspiring for certain positions should know that he's dead on arrival. That some parts of Nigeria will prefer a breakup than for you to become in charge of Nigeria. They prefer a breakup. Many parts of Nigeria will prefer a breakup. Even though they know you have the politics, you have what it takes to save the country, they will not. They said no, we do not vanquish. But it was just a mere word that was not implemented anywhere. Despite this effort, debates have continued over the full reconciliation. There was no full reconciliation. Remember, they also implemented the 3R. They also talked about the 3R, which is reconstruction, rehabilitation, and reintegration. Reconstruction, rehabilitation, reintegration. These 3R, none of them was implemented. And all these idiots today that are parading themselves as governors know very well that this 3R was not implemented. Even when Soludo came in. When Atiku Abubakar went to Soludo to campaign for presidency in their time, Soludo reminded him of that 3R, meaning that he knows that that 3R was not implemented. There was no reconstruction of Biafra land. Instead of reconstructing the Biafra land, where was the heart of the war? They were reconstructing Lagos State. They were building Lagos State and Kaduna State. But the heart of the war, there was no reconstruction. Rehabilitation, there has never been any attempt to rehabilitate our people, including our soldiers who fought gallantly. Many of them died in poverty, many of them died in pain, many of them died in stress. Up to today, instead of rehabilitation, they keep on reminding us that they killed us before and they will kill us again. They keep on reminding. That was why the late idiot Muhammadu Buhari called us a dot. He called us a dot. That is why, even up to today, they are making every move to remind us that they did it before and they can always do it. At every opportunity, they come and take our life. Reconstruction. Was anything reconstructed? Nothing. Reintegration. Up to this moment, they refuse that we will reintegrate Nigeria. Nigeria have never allowed an Igbo man to reintegrate up to today. That is why whenever there is a problem in any state where we are, they burn our properties, they burn our shops, they destroy lives. In any place, in the north, in the southwest, whenever a little thing happens, they attack our properties because they don't want us to reintegrate. It was we are still the ones forcing ourselves to enter into Nigeria. It is we that is forcing ourselves to go to Nigeria, even with a good heart, to develop it, to give employment opportunity to people, to build it, and yet they don't want it. At every given opportunity, they want us out. At every single opportunity, they want to take our life. With all the effort we have made, at every given opportunity. So you can see that the 3R, none was implemented till today as I'm speaking with you. No reintegration allowed, no rehabilitation made, and no reconstruction. Up to this minute, there is no federal government present in Nigeria. You could imagine that Nnamdi Kanu today is in life sentence because all he requested for was international airport, seaport, presence of the federal government, and the right of the Biafran War. And because of that, he is facing a life sentence today. They blackmailed him. They attempted to take his life. They couldn't succeed. They went to Kenya, kidnapped him, and today, against the law, they convicted him without an existing law. They convicted Nnamdi Kanu with a repealed law, and today, they gave him a life sentence in a country where terrorists that murdered and continue to murder people are being forgiven. They are being reintegrated. They are paid on salary. They are sponsored to their holy land to go and worship and come back. But Nnamdi Kanu, whose only request was, give my people equal treatment, they gave him a life sentence. How do you explain that? You as an Igbo man that is insulting Nnamdi Kanu. How do you explain that? It is sad. Very, very sad. Some of you will be asking, why does Biafra agitation continue? For some people who are not Igbos, for some people who are not Biafrans, for some people who are not even Nigerians, you'll be asking, why is it that after so many years, we are still continuing agitation? But as for a genuine Nigerian, as a genuine Igbo person, as a genuine Biafran, you don't have to ask this question. But we know there are some people who are not paying attention, and they asked, why does Biafra agitation continue? Biafra agitation is renewed. Several long-standing concerns have not been adequately addressed. Just like I mentioned, the 3R is still there, pending. It has not been addressed. No victor, no vanquish was just a scam. They always treat us as a conquered people, and they tell you to your face that you're a conquered person. We have seen the Fulanis use that language so many times. They don't even hide it. These commonly include claims like the issues that will show you that nothing has been done. Political representation. Today, there is no political representation of Biafrans. Igbo people has no representation. Igbo people has no representation in Nigeria today. There is no political godfather in Igbo land. There is no political representation whatsoever in Igbo land. We don't have. The people that we have in Igbo land today are people that are representing the caliphate. They represent the caliphate. They stand for the caliphate. They fight for the caliphate. In terms of economic development, there is no place that Nigerian government participates in economic development in Biafra land. Infrastructure in Biafra land is zero. Instead of them to bring infrastructure to Biafra land, they will take it to the Niger Republic. That was why they took a rail that was constructed by the money from Biafra land, yet that rail did not come to Biafra land. Instead, they took it to Niger, another country. They construct a rail and enter into America. Go to another country and build a refinery. But in Biafra land, where the oil is coming, there is no refinery there. There is no functional refinery in Biafra land. The one that is there, they couldn't even rehabilitate it. No infrastructure whatsoever. Security-wise, you see what they're doing in Biafra land. Security-wise, they have created insecurity in Biafra land. They militarize Biafra land every single day from one pole to the other. As they militarize Biafra land, it is just a buffer for the Fulani Janjaweed to be operating. In most cases, when kidnapping happens, it happens near the checkpoints. We have seen revelation. Even these idiots today that are attacking Nnamdi Kanu, they were among the ones that made the investigation and said that Nigerian government and their military were involved in Biafra, including kidnapping. But today, the same people that made this investigation, they come today, they turn it to Nnamdi Kanu, and they say, oh, it's Nnamdi Kanu that is the problem. That is the evil of the black man. That is how evil some people are. Biafran people, Igbo Biafrans, some Igbo Biafrans are evil. Nnamdi Kanu talked about Igbo saboteur. That the only saboteur you pray not to meet, the worst saboteur you pray not to meet is an Igbo saboteur. An Igbo saboteur, they can go to any length. You can see a man come to national TV, sit down comfortably and ask that Nnamdi Kanu should be unalive. That when you unalive Nnamdi Kanu, security will return. Only a madman can think that way. Only a madman that doesn't have conscience will sit on the national TV and make such requests. Something that even the arch enemy of Nnamdi Kanu cannot say. But an Igbo man came on national TV and said that. Historical recognition. They try to throw away our history. They try to distort history. They distort history. Recreate our boundaries. They took away important spots where there are resources in our land and they carry it to a different place. They tell our children that they are no longer our children. They tell our brothers that we are no longer brothers and sisters. Even as we speak. And the only thing that can stop this evil is we walking away from the zoo. That is why, unapologetically, I say it and I say it again. The only remedy in Nigeria is disintegration. Peaceful disintegration. To your tent, O Israel, go your separate way. Everybody go their separate ways. And I hope and pray that one day, somebody will be touched. Somebody will touch, either in the United States or any part of the world, to pronounce that word. To your tent, O Israel. Every region should be on their own. Manage their resources and manage their security. Only that will no man's return in Nigeria. Apart from that, just like Nnamdi Kanu said, Somalia will be a child's play. Somalia will be a child's play in Nigeria. The marginalization is not going to stop. It is not going to stop. It is going to be increasing. It will increase to the extent that the world can no longer be silent again. But we are not going to wait until then. Just like they don't want to call the Biafran genocide a genocide because they were waiting for us to die, every one of us to die before they now call it a genocide. But we can't wait until we are completely exterminated for them to write that genocide. No, we can't wait. It will be an abomination for us to wait. In United Nations, before they can be able to approve it, they will make sure that the entire people are wiped away. Only then they describe it as genocide. We cannot wait for them. We are going to fight to be alive. We are going to fight to keep ourselves alive. And that is what we are already doing. That is what we are already doing. And we will continue to do so. It doesn't matter what anybody says. The truth will always remain the truth, and we will continue to speak the truth only. Nigeria has experienced multiple security challenges across different regions as we speak. And what is the cause of the insecurity? The people that brought the insecurity you see in Nigeria today is the Nigeria itself. The politician is here. The federal government of Nigeria itself. They were the one that brought in the people that are kidnapping them today. The people today that are in charge of the Christian genocide that's happening were brought in by the Nigerian government and the officials. And this is not a propaganda. They came on national television and they confessed to that. El-Rufai confessed that he went and paid them at a point in time. He paid them and told them to stop killing. And they said they're not going nowhere. We had another one who came and confessed that they were the ones that went and brought Fulanis from across Sahel to assemble in Nigeria in order to remove a Christian in power. So when we say this thing, some of you will think it's just a propaganda. It is not a propaganda. Everything I say here is verifiable. That is why I tell you, when you come to my platform, take note of everything. You are free to challenge it. If you have a contrary or superior argument, bring it forward. Click the link and come in and bring it forward. I am not here for propaganda or blackmail. Everything I say is based on fact. They are all verifiable. When we accuse Nigerian government of being responsible for the insecurity in Nigeria, of the killings, there are evidence to that. There are evidence to that. Today, as we speak, what Nigeria has brought upon himself have transformed to different groups of atrocities. We have the one they title banditry. The same people they call bandits are terrorists. Bandits that can be able to shoot down an aircraft. Bandits that can operate and take the knife of a general, kidnap a general and collect ransom. Is that bandit anymore? That's not bandit. You can't describe that as bandit. In Nigeria today, kidnapping has been the order of the day. Kidnapping, not just one, kidnapping of children, entire school children. Not once, not twice, not thrice. Every single day. Kidnapping of the entire village, entire church. Terrorism is the order of the day in Nigeria today. Communal violence is, we see that every single day. The Fulani terrorists coming to attack communities for no just cause, destroying the farms and the farmers. We have seen them on video, where they come to a farm for no reason, destroy the farm produce, they destroy the farms with no reason. Today we hear everybody, people want to go their separate ways. The Biafrans are gearing up to get out of Nigeria. Even the Oduduwas are going out. The only reason the Ojukwu is silent today is because their brother finally is the president and he was able to buy them over. And today, the Oduduwa movement transformed into a political pressure group with their leader, some of the world today, being the armed group of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They have changed their course. Today, they are fighting for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, not for Yoruba people anymore. The fight of the Oduduwas today is for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He has been able to buy the Oduduwa group, and they are silenced. They are silenced. The only people that still stand strong is the Biafrans. These were the same Oduduwa group that we supported. Nnamdi Kanu held several meetings with them. We planned on going on several issues. Master Simon Ekpa stepped in, did the same thing, hold several meetings with them in the pursuit of freedom. All of a sudden, Tinubu came in between them and tear them apart. And today they have become a political tool for Tinubu. In Nigeria today, everywhere is filled with criminal gangs of assorted type. Different gangs operate everywhere. We see attack on civilians every single day. The civilians are the one suffering. Attack on the civilian by the police, attack on the civilian by the army, attack on the civilian by the vigilante groups, attack on civilians by the Fulani terrorists, attack on civilians by different groups of terrorists. Communities in many parts of the country, including the Northeast, Northwest, Middle Belt, Southeast, South, have been affected in different ways. The entire nation is on fire. And when Nnamdi Kanu told you of Nigeria becoming worse than Afghanistan, worse than Somalia, you thought it was a joke. You haven't seen nothing yet. There are different public opinions about cause of insecurity and the effectiveness of government responses. And you can tell the story. If you are following Nigerian events, if you are following what is happening, nobody needs to tell you. Nobody needs to come and instruct you and tell you, look at what the fact is. Just like in the Southeast, we know that the insecurity in the Southeast, just like I explained from the beginning, was created and caused by the Nigerian government. The insecurity you see in the Southeast today is orchestrated by Nigeria. And even up to tomorrow, the Southeast is the most peaceful area in Nigeria. Till tomorrow. Till tomorrow, Southeast still remain the most peaceful. Even Nigerian government is forcing themselves to create chaos, to create fear, to create instability, burning houses and taking innocent life, driving away all the youth from their villages. Yet, Southeast remain peaceful. The most peaceful area you can talk about. Everything that's happening today in Nigeria, the Nigerian government is responsible. Government officials in Nigeria are fully involved in the insecurity you are seeing. You saw recent testimony where people were testifying in the north how the government officials are sharing money with bandits. How government officials are sharing money with bandits. They collect 5 billion and they give to the bandits 1.9 billion and they take the remaining to themselves. They collect ransom and they share with bandits. They negotiate truce with them. They tell them where to attack, and whom to attack, and how to attack. They help them to collect the ransom. And yet, some of you think that somehow Nigeria is going to work for you. Sorry, you haven't seen nothing yet. Wherever you are, it is high time we stand up and support our supreme leader, Nnamdi Kanu. These men have put their life on the line for you and I. Our supreme leader, Nnamdi Kanu, is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. Nnamdi Kanu is the supreme leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, unchallenged. The supreme leader. He has proven himself. Tested and trusted, sanctified, as white as snow, unbribable. He has faced several criminal charges brought by the Nigerian government, including terrorism-related allegations, which he has denied, which you and I know that he has never, any way or manner, participated in terrorism. Nnamdi Kanu has never been seen with something as simple as a knife. Nnamdi Kanu has never been seen attacking anybody. Nobody have testified and said that Nnamdi Kanu sent him to go and take innocent life. There has not been such testimony. But yet, Nigerian government choose to charge him for terrorism. His legal proceedings have involved multiple court decisions. Multiple court decisions in his favor. Up to today, it remains a matter of significant public interest. In that, many courts have vindicated Nnamdi. In Nigeria, he has won his case in 2 courts or 3. He has won his case internationally in Kenya. The United Nations Arbitrary Committee gave Nigeria ultimatum to release him and pay him compensation. Up to today, instead of listening, the Nigerian government choose to hold him and put him in detention. You and I know that the constitutional right of Nnamdi Kanu has not been respected. All we are asking is fair hearing. All we are asking is for fair and transparent judicial process for Nnamdi Kanu. We are not asking for mercy, pity, or lenience or whatever. No. All we are asking is for the rule of law in the case of Nnamdi Kanu, which Nigeria will never ever have. And that is why we look elsewhere, calling on the international community to intervene. And thank Chukwuemeka, the United States is paying attention. The case of Nnamdi Kanu is no longer a local case. The case of Nnamdi Kanu has gone outside Nigerian boundaries. And I thank Chukwuemeka that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case today is discussed in the Parliament of the United States of America. It is no longer, it is outside Nigeria. And every one of you know how strong the United States is. When the United States of America comes into a matter, it becomes a front door game. You don't play with it anymore. Once the United States of America comes into an issue, it is no longer in your hand. There's nothing you can do. And I strongly believe that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to join us any moment from now. But all we are saying is that the United States should hasten up. More people are dying. More lives are being wasted. And more are going to die if nothing is done, and done as fast as possible. The Nigerian government maintained that the legal process should continue in accordance with Nigerian law. But do they actually obey Nigerian law? Because in that same Nigerian law, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was freed. The Nigerian government was told to pay Mazi Nnamdi Kanu compensation. As we speak, they are owing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu billions of dollars that was supposed to pay for him. Did they obey their own law? No. Their law says that before you can convict any man, no person can be convicted without a written law. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was convicted without a written law. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was convicted with a repealed law after several adjustment of the charges. The charges that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu started with when he was arrested in 2015 is not the charges facing today. They have adjusted it to the extent that they can't adjust anymore, so they decided to use any law available to convict him, including a repealed law. Could that be called a justice? That is not justice anyway, and nobody should accept that, regardless of different views. The principle of due process and fair trial is widely recognized as a cornerstone of the rule of law. That is what we are saying. Regardless of what you believe, your own idea, whatever you say, whatever you support or whatever, whether you're a one Nigerian or no one Nigerian, all we are asking is that the principle of due process and a fair trial is widely recognized as a cornerstone of the rule of law. Fair trial, that is what we're asking for. The rule of law, that is what we're asking for. We are not begging for anything else. Likewise, in the case of Mazi Simon Ekpa. Mazi Simon Ekpa is coming for appeal on the 5th, 5 days more. 5 days more. And I believe the Finland authorities are watching the drama that has been happening in Biafra land since Mazi Simon was kidnapped. The same man, they say that he's responsible for the insecurity. Do you know how many people have been dying since Mazi Simon was kidnapped? Do you know how many people have lost their life? Do you know how many businesses have been destroyed? Do you know how many houses have been destroyed? Even as you're watching this video, do you know how many people that their life have been destroyed in Biafra land since the arrest of Mazi Simon Ekpa? Finland convicted Mazi Simon Ekpa without looking into evidence available. Personally, I can provide thousands of evidence against the Nigerian government on the insecurity in Biafra and how they conducted insecurity. We have several videos. Remember the people who were murdered in our mama. 4 innocent young men that were murdered by a Bubago who went for traditional wedding. Traditional wedding, they were murdered. In our mama. You remember what happened in Okuama? There are several examples, video evidences that we have to share. Some of them I cannot share here because they are very, very disturbing. I can't share them here. I have thousands of evidence, which I know most of this evidence are with our Prime Minister, and the prosecutor in Finland refused to look at them. The prosecutor only chose to look at evidence that was provided by the Nigerian government. And those that were preserved by Mazi Simon Ekpa, he refused to look at them. Can you call that justice? That is not fair trial. That can never be a fair trial. A fair trial is looking through all evidence available, both from the accuser and the accused. Every evidence must be looked at. No matter how horrible it is, you must look at it. That is what we call fair trial. And we believe in this very appeal, it will be a different ballgame. I strongly believe that my Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, is going to join us after his case, which is going to last from the 5th of August up until 21st. The hearing will be from the 5th up until 21st. So we are expecting to see Mazi Simon Ekpa with us again in a very, very near time. Within the space of this 1 month, we will have him with us by the special grace of Chukwuemeka. So wherever you are, continue to pray. Simon Ekpa is a Finnish Nigerian political activist associated with supporters with Biafran cause. He is the Prime Minister of Brigi, Mazi Simon Ekpa, fighting for Biafra. Many never believed him before. Many called him an enemy, called him different kinds of names. Many were part of those who blackmailed him, but today they have realized their mistake. Many who was part of calling for his head, today have realized the mistake. Finally, they have seen that he wasn't the problem. Instead, he was the solution. All he was asking for, looking at was solution. All he was providing was a solution to guide and protect his people and make sure they are more black. They are not modern. Today, he has faced legal proceeding in Finland relating to allegations connected with his activities. Those proceedings are separate from Nigerian legal system. And I believe Finland, as a westernized country, Finland that is rated high in human rights, should do better. They should do better and not drag themselves to mud because of Nigeria misinformation. No country today accepts information from Nigeria without questioning it adequately. No sensible country today receives any document or information from Nigeria without questioning it appropriately. So Finland should do more and come out with a good answer on this appeal. And I strongly believe that something good is going to come. As with any legal matter, allegations should not be treated as established fact. Finland should not be treating allegation against Mazi Simon Ekpa as an established fact. It is not. Unless determined by a competent court of law. And how would that be determined? Looking through every single evidence from the accused and the accusers. Looking through every single evidence. It must pass through the formal way. You don't skip any. No matter, don't tell me, oh, this one is too hard for you to watch. Then you are not fit to be there. If it is too horrible for you to watch, you are not fit to be there. Every evidence must be looked at. That is why you are there. Observers generally agree that legal proceedings should be conducted fairly, transparently, and in accordance with applicable law. That is all we are asking. Fair trial for Mazi Simon Ekpa. The rule of law, which include admitting every available evidence, no matter how small, no matter how big, they are all important. Every single evidence must be admitted. That is what we are asking for. And I believe that in the next phase that we're going to see from the 5th, it is going to be a different ballgame. So wherever you are, as a Biafran, continue to prepare yourself. More especially for the protest that we're going to hold on the 4th. That protest, you need to be there. Every Biafran need to be present. Show yourself. Do your own part and let the remaining be for Chukwuemeka to do. Don't allow anybody to belittle you. Don't allow anybody to cage you. Don't allow anybody to restrict what you do. It doesn't matter. I tell you, one thing I have always said, that there are so many, when you come on social media, you will see things that will discourage you. Today, it takes extraordinary strength to join this struggle. It takes extraordinary strength to continue to talk about Biafra. When you come online today and you see what our people, the same people who are fighting for Biafra, if you see what they do and what they say, you get discouraged. More especially the Igbo people. Their attitude online is discouraging. It takes extraordinary strength. And that extraordinary strength is what is needed. No matter what you see, no matter what you hear, we must continue to speak and stand with our leaders, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa. We must continue to defend them. It is not enough. It is not enough to disregard Mazi Simon Ekpa and fight for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You are missing it. For you to fight for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu effectively, you must acknowledge the good work of Mazi Simon Ekpa. If you join the people who demonize Mazi Simon Ekpa and think by demonizing Mazi Simon Ekpa you can vindicate Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you are an idiot. You are an idiot. You haven't learned your lesson. You see the same people who attack Mazi Simon Ekpa are using the same template is what they are using against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today. The exact template they used against Mazi Simon Ekpa is what they are using against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If you're not waking up yet, sorry, you will never wake up in your life. If you have not waken up at this stage and understand that the only way to defend Mazi Nnamdi Kanu effectively is to first of all debunk every single lie against Mazi Simon Ekpa, every single blackmail against Mazi, you must trash it into pieces. That is the only way you can effectively defend Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If you continue to support that evil agenda against Mazi Simon Ekpa, you continue to support the blackmail against Mazi Simon Ekpa, and you think that that will now make you vindicate Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you are an idiot. You don't know what you're doing. You haven't learned your lesson. But I know that so many of us today are doing the right thing. More especially, many IPOB media warriors, they are saying the right word and they are focusing. And in this protest that is coming up in Finland, IPOB is represented and they're going to be there. Members of IPOB are going to be there. In the court of Mazi Simon Ekpa, members of IPOB are going to be there in solidarity. We are one people. Enough of the division. Nigerian government came through Chike Doziem and China Sanworu and created problem. And today, I thank Chukwuemeka to away that demarcation, to take away that distraction, to take away that hindrance. And today, we can boldly speak as one people. We can boldly make our case as one people. I appreciate Chukwuemeka for that. And I appreciate Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for having that initiative to do it at the right time. Today, we are speaking as one people. IPOB today, under the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, with the HOD, Chris Wogu, we are 100 in support of every activities they present. Whatever Chris Wogu said, we will support it to the last. It is about Biafra. I have told people, I am not for any group. I am not for group. I am for Biafra restoration. I don't care the group you be. If you know what you will offer, bring it in. Just like our Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.